Alright, for the sake of time and simplicity, I'm going to go ahead and record lesson 10 and lesson 11 together just because they're just the same as the lessons before. We'll just go into a little more detail for the reasoning why. So I'm starting on page 767 and I'm just going to go through a couple of example problems on each of these independent practices. So we'll start with number 3. And remember, if we divide a whole number or whole numbers by fractions, our answer is going to be larger. And here's why. So we have 3 wholes represented here, and we're dividing them up into fifths. So we're asking ourselves, how many fifths are going to make up 3 wholes? So I'm going to split them into fifths roughly. Whoops, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll pretend they're even. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now we have each of those wholes broken up into fifths. So we want to ask ourselves how many total, so this piece here is 1/5. How many fifth pieces is it going to take to make up 3 wholes? Well, 5, 10, 15. So like I said, our answer is going to be larger because it takes more fifths to make up 3 wholes. And they want you to check it using multiplication. So because, again, division and multiplication are opposite or inverse operations, we can check and make sure that we did it correctly by using the opposite function. So we divided here, so I'm going to take my answer, 15 or 15 over 1, just so I can multiply straight across. And it's going to give me 15 times 1 is 15. 1 times 5 is 5. And I know that 15 divided by 5 is 3. So it gave us our original number. So we'll try just one more of those before we move on to the next lesson. Let's try number 7. 3 divided by 1/6. So again, I want to split my 3 wholes into sixths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now each whole is broken up into sixths. How many sixths do I need to get 3 wholes? Or how many times do I need to take it to get 3 wholes? So I have 6, 12, 18. I want to check my answer. So my 18 can be written as 18 over 1, same thing. I multiply straight across. 18 times 1 is 18. 1 times 6 is 6. 18 divided by 6 is 3. So I know I did that correct. Now we're going to jump into lesson 11. Like I said, we've kind of done it before. They're just going to use better models than I had. So, like we did before, when we take a fraction and divide it by a whole number, or at least a unit fraction and divide it by a whole number, excuse me, it's like taking the denominator 7 times 2. Okay? And then we're going to leave the 1 the same, but I'll show you how and why that works. So again, each one of these is representing 1/7. So a 7th, 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 7th. So we have this whole here, and we broke it up into 7th pieces. We're looking at just this. Let me grab a different color pen. So we're looking at just 1/7. If we divide it in half, I can split the whole into halves, okay? And where they intersect here, oh, it's pretty much the same, sorry. This is where they intersect here. So I want to know how much of this is of the whole. So again, I had 7 sevenths, sevenths, I had 7 sevenths. I was looking at just 1/7, and I divided it into 2 parts. And if I divide it into 2 parts, I have 1 shaded out of how many total? Well, I have 1, 2 here, so I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So my answer is actually going to be smaller because we're taking something that's small and breaking it down even smaller. My answer is 1 1/14th. Now, again, with division and multiplication, we can check it using the opposite. So I'm going to take my answer of 1/14th times 2, or I can say it's the same thing as 2 over 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. 1 times 14 is 14. And they simplified it back down to 1/7. So I know that it's the same. I'll do one more of those. I know it's a little more confusing when you divide a unit fraction by a whole number, so we'll try again. 1/5 divided by 2. So again, here's our fifth representing this whole. We're looking at 1/5, and we want to split it in half. We'll go just like that. Where it intersects here, because I split it into two pieces, where it intersects here, I want to see how many do I have shaded. 1. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or 1/10. If I want to check it using multiplication, I have, again, I can write 2 as 2 over 1, same thing. Now I multiply straight across is 2, straight across is 10. Simplified, I divide them both by 2. Divide them both by 2, 1/5. And let's try maybe number 6, just so we have a little different. So a half and a half make up a whole. We're looking at just this half. We want to split each of them into 4. So I'm going to split, again, I can split it in half. And this time, since I'm dividing it into 4 equal pieces, I'm going to split it in half again. And again, I'm just looking where it intersects at this one spot here. So I have one piece shaded in out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my answer is 1/8. Check it using multiplication. I'm going to rewrite it here so it's easier to see. As 4 over 1, so I didn't change it at all. I just took my answer times that number to make sure we get our starting number. 1 times 4 gives me 4. 8 times 1 gives me 8, so 4 over 8 is the equivalent fraction of 1/2. Hope that is helpful. And once again, gotta close this so I can then stop it.